DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: the acting police chief Lincoln Corbett has issued a new warning to parents. Hear about that warning in the DBS Major Morning News. An independent investigation to be conducted to determine the cause of the collapse of a concrete roof at the Dominica Grammar School. News from the region: Jamaica to take over the chair of CARICOM. And news from the international scene: the Israel Defense Minister says Iran's supreme leader can no longer be allowed to exist. Details of the DBS Morning News right after this.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica, and yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brands.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Major Morning News. My name is Curtis Matthew. The news this morning is brought to listeners through the kind compliments of HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited, Fine Foods Inc. and Petro Caribe. Here we go with our lead story. Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett has issued a new warning to parents who have children using illegal firearms. Mr. Corbett made this statement this week.
I also call upon the parents who are aware that their children are harboring those firearms, that they have those firearms on the premises. Ask them to surrender the firearms to the police. Ask them to surrender to the police, to give it up. When we come, a lot of times people are not very happy. But we have to do what we have to do. And if it means that we'll take down the front door or the back door or the side of a house, we have to do it. But to prevent that from happening, please surrender the firearms. Do not get yourself involved in trafficking in firearms or being in possession of firearms without a valid license. So that's my warning and my call, that we will continue our operations and we won't rest until we are safe and we're sure and satisfied that we've done the best that we can to rid the streets of the firearms.
And that's the acting police chief, Lincoln Corbett. An independent investigation will be conducted to determine the cause of the collapse of a concrete roof at the Dominica Grammar School. The new building is under construction. Here is the acting Prime Minister, Dennis Charles Pemberton.
The government of Dominica views the collapse of the concrete roof at the Dominica Grammar School construction site on Monday, June 16, as a matter of grave concern and is addressing it with the highest level of urgency and seriousness. We are thankful that the incident caused no injuries. On Tuesday, June 17, the Cabinet decided on the following measures to ensure thorough and transparent response with the safety of students and staff as our top priority. An independent investigation will be conducted to determine the cause of the structural failure. An engineering firm will be engaged to carry out a comprehensive assessment and submit a detailed report to the government. All other structures currently under construction at the site will be thoroughly inspected to assess their structural integrity and ensure compliance with safety standards. Construction activities have been ordered suspended with immediate effect while the investigation is ongoing. A joint team from the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Public Works has been tasked with overseeing the process and ensuring that all necessary corrective actions are implemented. The well-being of the students, teachers and staff of the Dominica Grammar School is the government's paramount concern, and we will make no compromise in ensuring their safety and protection. The government of Dominica will provide further updates as the investigation progresses and additional information becomes available.
And that's the acting Prime Minister, Dennis Charles Pemberton. Other news this morning, a representative from the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has arrived in Dominica to begin the groundwork for a new mental health policy and legislation. Sumatri Pathara, the technical consultant at PAHO, has been meeting various stakeholders in Dominica this week.
What happened was that the Ministry of Health requested PAHO for technical support to draft a new mental health policy as well as to draft new mental health legislation. And so PAHO has kind of asked me to come as a technical consultant to help with this process. And this week we are meeting with different groups of stakeholders since Monday. And we will do that for the whole week until Friday. And the idea of these meetings is to have small meetings with specific stakeholders to try and better understand what their expectations are from the mental health policy or from the mental health law, so that when we finally do a draft of these policies and laws, then all those needs are taken into account and those considerations are fulfilled. So we're meeting with a range of stakeholders. We met with professional groups, we met with organizations representing the elderly, for example. We met organizations representing people with disabilities, the minority groups. We're also working with other government agencies, so looking at meeting with other government agencies to see what they are doing about mental health. And we plan to also meet with, people with lived experience themselves, so people with mental health problems, also to meet with them and their caregivers to understand their own perspective of what they would like to see in a policy or in legislation. So once we've done all of that, we'll have a fair idea of what the needs are.
And that's the technical consultant at the Pan American Health Organization, Sumatri Pathara. He will be in Dominica for the rest of the week. Dr. Nadia Wallace is consultant psychiatrist in Dominica.
We requested that we get assistance in training of medical personnel in the assessment, diagnosis, and treatment of mental illnesses. We recognizing that we have limited resources when it comes to treatment of persons with mental illnesses, much less than we have the need. And we felt by having this training, we would empower persons who are not specialized in mental health to be better equipped and better prepared to assess, diagnose, and treat persons. So that was one of the requests. The second one was in assisting in the mental health policy. We do not have a mental health policy in Dominica. We had a draft mental health policy that was from 2012. So I felt this would be the opportunity for us to really have one, because we know how important our mental health is. And also we know of the Mental Health Act, which is the act that governs what happens and how persons with mental illnesses are managed in Dominica. The last act was renewed, I think, in 1987. So it's a very long time ago. So that's how this started.
And that's the psychiatrist consultant in Dominica at the hospital, Dr. Nadia Wallis. Well, graduation ceremonies have begun around Dominica, and valedictorian of the 2025 class of the Arthur Waldron Seventh-day Adventist Academy is Kia Roye. She copped awards for Bible, chemistry, physics, biology, technical drawing practicals, English, math, geography, French, and office administration. She called on her graduates to create a legacy that will live on.
We now stand on a foundation of knowledge and perseverance, a legacy, one we inherit and must carry forward. Building a true legacy. It is more than good grades. It's about lasting wisdom, curiosity, and deeper understanding. It is built through lifelong learning, growing beyond school, explore, fail, learn, and repeat. That's how legacy lives on, long after the caps and the gongs are packed away. It is meant to be shared, uplift, inspire, and pass it on. Knowledge gains power when it helps others grow. It comes from staying humble and open. It's about being ready to unlearn, relearn, and grow. A learner's curious mindset always beats a know-it-all. It means applying your knowledge, turning it into action, purpose, and impact. A legacy of learning equips us to create a future full of promise and purpose. The path ahead is bright, and ours to turn into something meaningful with the tools which we have gained. Let us step forward with purpose, not just for us, but for our families, our communities, and the world.
And that's the 2025 valedictorian of the 2025 class of Arthur Waldron Seventh-day Adventist Academy, Kia Roye. 25 students form part of the graduation ceremony of the Arthur Waldron SD Academy yesterday. Ivana Maglaw, who received the second highest of average, was such salutatorian. She captured awards for technical drawing, principles of accounts, principles of business, most outstanding business student, information technology, excellent school spirit and leadership, among others. The other outstanding students who graduated with honors were Shalia, Valmon, and Jai Henry. Meantime, 12 students graduated with distinction and 9 with merits. Here is the Education Minister, Octavia Alfred.
You are a glorious group, a chosen generation. Graduation is a moment of transformation, a moment to reflect on the journey taken, to look ahead at the vast and promising road that lies before you. You stand at the edge of a new chapter, but not with fear, but with hope. And the theme that brings us together today, a legacy of learning, a future of promise, is a reminder of what this institution has been to you. More than learning for assessment, but teaching to ensure that you become competent, God-fearing adults. Now, you must decide what you want to do with this learning as you move forward. It's up to you.
And that's the Education Minister, Octavia Alfred. The 43rd graduation ceremony of the Arthur Waldron Seventh-day Adventist Academy was held under the theme, A Legacy of Learning and Future of Promise. Well, Gideon Bello was named valedictorian of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. Emmanuel Joseph captured the salutatorian award, while 3 students took the Student of the Year award. They were Deshaun Lebron, Sierra Frederick, and Mitch Pierre. The 3 also captured awards for leadership. The principal award of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School went to Jonty Vidal. Valedictorian Gideon Bello told the graduating class they must embrace a determined mindset.
The theme for this year's graduation is Determined Minds, Boundless Futures. It is the idea that a determined mind will create a boundless future. Imagine for a moment the great inventor of our time, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI and co-founder of ChatGPT. He faced challenges that seemed impossible, yet with determination and a clear vision, he pushed through barriers that many thought were impossible. He did not let failures define him. Instead, he used them as a stepping stone towards his ultimate goal. This is what we should embrace with a determined mind. This spirit of resilience is not just for the extraordinary few. It is a mindset we must embrace if we want to succeed. A determined mind is like a compass guiding us through uncertainty. It is not like a Dominican giving directions to Marbron's house. It empowers us to chase our dreams, to adapt, and to grow in the face of adversity.
And that's the valedictorian at the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, Gideon Bello. DBS Radio will continue to bring coverage of graduation ceremonies in the course of the week. Finally, from the nation, the Monjon Primary School will celebrate the success of its students during a graduation ceremony this morning. Manuela Gregoire is principal of the Monjon Primary School.
The Monjon Primary School is set to celebrate its graduation ceremony on Thursday, June 19th on the school grounds. This year's theme, Kicking Off into Success, reflects the determination and spirit of the graduating class. These students have shown remarkable strength. They have pushed through academic challenges and personal hardships, including loss of parents. The ceremony will honor their achievements across subject areas, and they will receive special awards in discipline, attendance, and overall excellence. Keynote speaker Mr. Leon John Baptist will address the graduating class alongside Honorable Greta Roberts and Education Officer Mr. Kimani Girodel. We will also showcase the work of our students in their music classes throughout the year at this year's ceremony.
And that's the principal of the Monjon Primary School, Manuela Gregoire. The graduation ceremony for Monjon at 10 o'clock this morning. When Jamaica assumes chairmanship of the Caribbean Community CARICOM, human development, capacity building and partnerships will be central to all dialogues and actions. The incoming chairman of CARICOM, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who takes over from Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley. Holness will host the upcoming 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM, scheduled to take place at Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James from the 6th of July to the 8th under the theme People, Partnerships, Prosperity, Promoting a Secure and Sustainable Future. The conference will bring together CARICOM member states, associate member states, representatives from regional bodies, and specially invited guests. Finally, this morning, Israel's defense minister says Iran's supreme leader can no longer be allowed to exist after the Socorro hospital was hit during an Iranian missile attack last night. Of course, the fighting goes on between Israel and, of course, Iran. Well, that too will end the DBS Major Morning News. Don't go away. The sports report comes up shortly.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola, such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with volleyball news. The national beach volleyballer Bill Clark Frederick is optimistic Dominica can advance to the next major beach volleyball tournament, as he's confident the team can do well at the upcoming Nausicaa World Championships qualifying tournament. That competition gets underway in the Dominican Republic in July. Frederick and his teammate Mervyn Mingo are fresh from capturing the gold medal at the ECVA tournament earlier this month. Frederick says a good showing in the Dominican Republic will see Dominica qualify for the World Championships.
If we at least make to the quarterfinals, the top 8 teams will move on to the actual World Championships, which will be held in Mexico. Ray Robinson and Jan Flora has been helping us a lot. Right now, we are really focusing on our hand setting because we are moving on to a higher level where bomb setting isn't as effective and efficient. So right now, we are focusing a lot on our hand setting. Moving is more focusing on his jump, so he can get more aggressive, get up there, and do his thing in the air. I personally see me moving on to the rung in Mexico because I think that making it to the quarterfinals, or at least to the top 8, should be a fairly reasonable place for us to make, because me and Movin have this kind of chemistry and we have this kind of talent that I believe not even really the bigger countries can see us. Now we have a chance to really make our name as Dominica and volleyballers, a little country that not much people know. So now we have our name to get onto the big stage and prove ourselves that these small countries can even show bigger than the big countries.
And that's the national beach volleyball player Bill Clark-Frederick. The female team of Alisa Bully and Joanne Pascal, which finished third at the ECVA tournament, will represent Dominica in the upcoming tournament in the Dominican Republic. Let's turn the attention now to cricket news. President of the DCA, that's the Dominica Cricket Association, Clement Masler, says the association has to find creative ways to generate revenue to meet its expenses with the loss of the Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 tournament. The tournament was cancelled last week due to the scheduled start of the lighting project at Windsor Park. Masler says the Dream 11 was a big revenue earner for the DCA.
Well, I think now is a good platform to encourage our sponsors out there who have the interest of national development, especially as it relates to cricket, to come on and really assist us. We are having discussions with various corporate partners as well, even government. We have that open door that we have to continue the discussion, because we already had the confirmation for the use of the stadium and we signed all the agreements, but because of government's overall requirements, I guess, on their contractors, we were unable to execute that. So they themselves had agreed that they would look to various avenues where they could assist the Cricket Association in moving forward. The work continues. We have to find creative means in generating revenue, go out and meet sponsors and try to see how we can continue throughout we're in the 6th month of the year. We have another 6 months there to see how we remain afloat. Hopefully we can get headways in raising funds and ensuring that our association can address the needs of the players.
And that's the president of the Dominica Cricket Association, Clement Masler. Let's stay with cricket news. Cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira says it is unfortunate that Kavem Hodge was dropped from the West Indies team, but feels Alec Athanasi's lack of runs in recent matches was the reason for he being dropped. He made the remarks while speaking on the Creole Heartbeat program yesterday. Pereira says the West Indies won't have it easy in their series with Australia.
I think that Hodge could be said to be unlucky, because he showed his class in Australia, he showed his class in England, and definitely it should have been in the 16. His first class career going back looks very attractive. I think Athanas, maybe lack of runs recently against South Africa A, lack of runs in the 25 season. Had he been putting the scores together, he probably would have been maybe in front of Anderson or in front of somebody else. But I think lack of runs. That's my honest answer. You've got to be realistic. They're playing one of the strongest teams in the world. The West Indies will do well if they are competitive, if they can really keep Australia into the 4th day and 5th day. We have a tremendous job against a very strong team. It's not going to be easy for players.
And that's the cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira. Pereira has called for Cricket West Indies, CWI, to return to its original methods of selecting players for the West Indies team. He says he's not a fan of the new model of selection, which essentially hands the authority to head coach Darren Sammy. He also is suggesting that he's against Sammy being coach of all 3 formats.
To the structure which operated since 1928, where we had selectors. Selectors were chosen by the board, but they were independent. They made their own decisions. The selectors watched the first class season, and then recommended a team to the board and recommended the captain. That has gone totally into the past. Now, I don't believe it's a good idea to saddle one man with 3 responsibilities of T20, ODI, and Test cricket. It's just too much. You know, when you think of McCullum in England doing that, look at the resource that he has got available to him, the financial resource, the infrastructure resource, the coaching resource supported by the various counties. We just do not have that.
And that's the cricket commentator, Joseph Reds Pereira. The Windward Island players, Keon Gaston, Akeem Ogis, Joanne Jeremiah, and Shadrach Descartes will all feature for the St. Lucia Kings at the next edition of the Republic Bank CPL. The 2025 Republic Bank CPL gets underway on the 14th of August. The players were drafted Wednesday during the CPL player draft. The St. Lucia Kings, the defending champions, full team is Australia's Team David, New Zealand's Team Seifert, Namibia's David Wieser, South Africa's Tabras Shamsi, and Delano Potgaita. The rest of the team is Alzari Joseph, Johnson Charles, Roston Chase, Matthew Ford, Aaron Jones, Carrie Pierre, Javel Green, Mika Mackenzie, Shadrach Descartes, Joanne Jeremiah, Keon Gaston, and Akeem Ogis. Cricket commentator Darren Ganga says the Kings will find it difficult and challenging without the services of Faf du Plessis.
Well, first off, I must say no Faf du Plessis. So I'm in shock. I'm thinking now which player or players can fill that void of Faf du Plessis. One, as a batter. Two, as a captain and someone who made the right decisions more often than not in that 2024 championship season. So I look at this squad here and I say to myself, will Roston Chase lead this team? Which player will be the captain? That's my first concern. The second is, I like the fact that they've gone with Tim David and Tim Seifert, 2 players who can add stability with the bat, players with extensive T20 experience. There's a Delano Potgaita, a South African, just 28 years of age, pretty much an unknown. Yes, he's played in that SAT20 for MI Cape Town, pretty untested and untried globally, but he is exciting. And I'm not surprised by Johnson Charles, who's been a tried, tested performer for the King. Look out for Matthew Ford, an up-and-coming star all-rounder, someone who's currently playing for the West Indies in white ball formats. He brings great value with the ball, that ability to swing the ball.
And that's the cricket commentator, Darren Ganga. Dominica's Alec Athanaze will feature for the St. Kitts Patriots. Jason Holder, who has played his entire CPL career with the Barbados Royals, will play for the first time with St. Kitts. Well, the former West Indies batsman, Darren Bravo, is making a return to the Trinbago Knight Riders, as he was also drafted on Wednesday. The Knight Riders will also have Kyron Pollard, Sonny Lorine, Andre Russell, and Nicholas Puran. Shakib Al-Hassan has been signed by the Antigua Falcons, while Brandon King, Rovman Powell, Quinton de Kock, and Sheffield Rutherford are among the players for the Barbados Royals, while the West Indies T20 captain Shea Hope, Moeen Ali, and Shama Joseph are among the players to play for the Guyana Amazon Warriors. That too is an end to the DBS Morning News and Sports. We'll bring you a news update at 11 o'clock. On behalf of the News and Sports departments and our link person, Melia Joseph Dennis, Curtis Matthew saying